Hey everybody, thank you for joining me here on the Quick Talk podcast. My name is Josh, you already know that. My job is to deliver relevant value to you and your business and to tell you things that you can apply today. But we are continuing our special mini-series interviewing all of the presenters of this year's huge convention in Washington, D.C. We have a killer lineup. I mean, there's a ton of value that are going to be provided by all the speakers. And right now I have on the line with me Beth Borrego. And she has a unique specialization in kind of what she's going to be presenting on, things that a lot of small companies maybe overlook or don't consider enough. And just again, one of the many speakers and presenters you're going to be able to meet. But Beth, thank you for carving out a few minutes out of your day to talk to me.
You're very, very welcome, Josh.
Well, Beth, tell us a little bit about yourself, if you could, maybe a couple minutes, your background, kind of what your deal is. I know you have a cleaning business yourself as well. How did you get into this business? Where are you from?
Well, I am a Marylander, born and raised, so native to the East Coast. I spent 14 years in high-tech software and hardware before going into the cleaning industry. And I've always had an emphasis throughout my professional career on sales and marketing and management. So that's my background. Our business is Cedar Run Incorporated, and we've been in business since 1999. Our emphasis is on high-end wood care. We do mostly log homes and cedar homes, but we also service a whole lot of decks in our D.C. metropolitan area here.
Well, that's funny. I have a friend back in Michigan, the stain shop. They sell a lot of stain, but they have a whole division restoring, I don't know if it's refinishing, restoring, whatever, the log home. It's a niche. It's a really, really cool business. It's great profit, but it's also kind of tricky. I mean, a lot of things can go wrong if you don't know what you're doing in that business. Is that right?
That's very true. You have to have a pretty good sense of a whole lot of different species of wood. You also have to understand wood as a building material and have a fairly good sense of how the homes are constructed when you get into it, because you're going to run into situations where you're working on something that's older or historic. You're going to run into situations where the wood may be rotting and decaying, and you may have to do some replacement work. So it's not just as easy as, washing and sealing a deck would be.
Absolutely, and it's definitely not as easy as just washing a vinyl-sided house would be, which is what a lot of people do. And what's really interesting about your business is there's this phrase I hear, there's riches in the niches. And the more specialized all of us can be at some particular high-value skill set, there's so much opportunity out there. And I think it's really cool what you're doing. And besides, log homes, when they're redone like that, they look absolutely amazing. I love log homes. But, I don't want to detract too much. The real reason I got you on here, Beth, is to try to dig into kind of what your passion is, what your expertise is, and what you're going to be presenting at the convention. Can you give us maybe a little insight, some sneak peeks on what you're going to be sharing with people?
Absolutely. Well, a lot of people know me from writing for Cleaner Times magazine, which I've been doing since about 2006. And last year, they finally reproduced, if you will, their Pressure Washers Guidebook. It's completely redone. It's huge. And I'm one of the 3 authors that helped to produce that guidebook. I wrote all of the marketing portions of the book and all of the business components that are in that book. And I've been speaking about different parts of the book for over a year now at different conventions. And this year at the huge convention, I'm going to be speaking about the importance of having an employee manual. Now, it's going to cover things like really important topics that you should have in there that are policies for your business, things that are going to protect you, as well as protect your employees, so that you've got things very clearly defined and outlined, and it's black and white, and there aren't really any areas that are gray where the waters can get kind of muddied and you can end up with, bad circumstances. It's also going to cover the topic of pay and the topics of benefits, which, of course, when you get hired into a job, the very first thing you want to see is, what's in it for you? What are you doing for your, 8+ hours a day? What are you going to take home at the end of all of it? So we're going to delve into benefits, things that you can do as a company that are maybe a little bit, less out of your pocket to do, but that do add value to the employees.
Oh, I think that's incredible. And even really little businesses, because there's a wide array of attendees at this convention. There's many people that do, 2-3 million plus in their business, but there are hundreds of these guys that only do 100,000, 200,000, 300,000. They have a small team, Beth, but it's so critical, even when you're small, I'm sure you would agree, to have clear communication, not just to protect yourself, but really to set up your staff to win, like so that they understand kind of what the deal is and what the upside is and what the future could look like and what's expected of them. I mean, doesn't it just help every part of your business run better when you have these things in place?
Oh, absolutely. Systems are critical to any business, no matter what the size is, because eventually you're going to have to turn that over. You're going to either sell it, hand it down, whatever you're going to do. It's going to go to somebody else. It's going to take your place in management or whatever the case may be. And having systems in place where you can store your legacy data, where someone can come in and say, okay, what am I supposed to do next? And you've got various software, various paperwork, various manuals and documents that are going to point you and guide you through all of these directions that you have to follow to be successful. That's really critical no matter what your size.
Absolutely. And the earlier you start, the better. But at the same time, I have compassion. I started my company with nothing. I mean, I had a Chevy Cavalier with a ladder on my roof of my car, Beth. So it was a very humble beginning. And when you're in the early stages, something like an employee manual can be super intimidating, right? So, I mean, it's like they're busy, they're stressed out, they're answering the phone, they're doing the jobs, they're doing the sales, they're doing all the accounting and the bookwork. They just feel like they don't have time to work on something like this. What would you say to someone like that?
Well, I'd say that what you should do is just sit down and put some notes together of things that are going to be important. And the other thing I'd say is if you're using a payroll service like ADP, for example, consider upgrading to the component that has the human resource piece in it, because you can also get handbook builders built in to ADP. Ours isn't through there, but you can do that, and that will basically ask you questions. You can fill out a template, and then voila, you're going to have one. It's important to put some time aside, though. If you have a down season, a slow time, it's important to spend some time writing it. The other thing you should do is make sure that you have an attorney read over anything you prepare, because the attorney is going to look at it from a legal standpoint and with your best interest at heart for your business, and make sure that you're doing things according to the letter of the law.
Well, that's really, really good advice. Very well put, Beth. I just want to encourage everybody listening to this. You can go to the huge convention. You can sit for an hour with someone like Beth. Take a clean sheet of paper, and when you walk out of that room, you're going to have the framework you need to know how to do this stuff. And it doesn't have to be a 100-page manual if you're small. Start with a minimum viable system. That's what I call them, MVS. Put something down. Make some sort of step or move in that direction, because if you want to have a business you can sell someday, if you want to have a team around you that's engaged, that feels like they're part of a real professional company, that's how you're going to get the best talent. That's how you're going to have the best employee retention. You have to be an executive and a professional in your company, no matter how small it is. And I'm excited to meet you in real life, Beth. I'll be there as well. And is there any closing thoughts you have? Or actually last, I really want to get your take on why people should even attend the huge convention.
Well, we went to the huge convention last year, and I have to say it was an absolutely amazing experience. The number of attendees, the number of vendors, the products to see, the people to network with, it was huge. It was amazing. And it far exceeded any expectations that I might have had, and I'm really, really glad that the convention is being held in the D.C. area again this year, because it's so close to home for me.
Yeah, you have an unfair advantage. I have to fly from Central America to go to the huge convention, but in both of our cases, guys, it's worth it. It's not a cost to go to the convention. It's an investment, and you will get a huge return on your investment. Beth, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us. How can people connect with you if they need to get in touch with you maybe before the convention?
They can find me on Facebook easily enough. They can also email me. My email address is Beth Borrego. That's BethBorrego @msn.com.
Okay, got it. Beth, thank you so much. Take care. Have a great day. Let me ask you a question. Are you even remotely considering going to the huge convention this year? Well, if you are, I've made a special deal for Quick Talk listeners. You're going to save $50 off the ticket price. Now, everybody else is going to pay normal price, but not you. Go to thehugeconvention.com/Quick Talk and you save $50 right off the price. Now, remember, this is not a cost, okay? It's an investment. This event is absolutely incredible. The second thing I want to announce to you is the new release of the Growth Vault. Now, the Growth Vault comes from all the requests I get from people wanting coaching and training and how do I get this webinar and this teaching you did 6 months ago and what about these special interviews you do, Josh? I want to learn. I want to grow my business. I put everything into one repository. It's totally free. There's no cost. Go to thegrowthvault.com. There's loads of content on business building, automating, scaling, and building a business that you could sell. Check it out right now. Completely free. It's my gift to you. Thank you so much. Hey, thanks for hanging out, friends. And from all of us here at the Quick Talk podcast team, we hope you loved today's show. We hope that you were inspired to become a doer and not just a listener. Apply what you've heard today in your own business and watch things change for the better. Lastly, remember that all the money in the world can't save your soul. Seek first the kingdom of God, my friends. We'll see you next time.
For more information about the Quick Talk podcast or Joshua's other businesses, visit our website, quicktalkpodcast.com. Have a blessed day.